Okay, so recently I talked about how I always wanted to move to California. It was my dream since I was a little girl. I love the ocean, I love the beach, I love everything about California life. I was like, I gotta go out there. Like, I had friends who lived out there who love it and things like that. And so I took off and I went. And doing that, I discovered a lot of things about myself, and that's what I want to talk about. So, I discovered that when I got out there, I had in my mind, I was seeing something that was different from reality because I wanted to see what I wanted to see. Basically, I was in my own illusion. Not to say that California isn't great, it's just I wasn't looking at the big picture. I was only looking at the positive and not the negative. Everything has good and bad. Everything that is everything in the world, it's like the yin yang. There's nothing all good and there's nothing all bad. So I was only seeing all good because I wanted to escape my reality that I was living in. So I was like, I put myself in a position to where I could be, somewhere new and go off of that, and which I could, you know. So I did that. I went out there and a lot of things went wrong. It was like someone was standing in front of me telling me this is not the right path for you. And I didn't understand at that exact moment, but it didn't take me long to understand why everything was going wrong. It was because I needed to dive deep into myself and figure out why I was even trying to run or escape from the reality that I was living in. And I know you've heard, depression, anxiety, those things are real. And a way that a lot of people like to explain depression is they say deep rest, depression, like you need deep rest. You need to figure out who you are, and that's why people are struggling with depression, is because they're in this cycle of repeated actions that are not their true destiny or true path. So when I went out there, I was like, this is great and everything, but I'm basically doing exactly what I was doing back home. And what I really want to do is come up in the world. I want to really live the life that I want to live. And I want to talk about sacrifice, because you can go out to California, you can go anywhere in the world. If you have your eyes set on something, you want to move to Canada, you want to move to New York, whatever you want to do it, because nothing about going out there can really, like, it's not, worst come worst, you don't like it, you can always go somewhere else, And it can be hard though, if you go somewhere and you sign a lease and you're obligated to bills. That's why I'm so happy and I feel really lucky that when I did go to California, I didn't have to sign anything. I wasn't actually prepared to at the time. I was just kind of doing a test trial, but quickly I learned that I was under an illusion, that the reality that I thought I was getting into wasn't an actual reality. So, like I said, California is great and everything, but at this moment, at this point in my time in my life, I realized that, I can go out there and I can keep trying to catch up to everything, or I can go sacrifice my time for a little while, gain some knowledge about myself in the world, and make more income where I can put it back and save it. And then after sacrificing for a little while, use that income to go wherever I want at all times. So if you are out there and you're thinking, I can't wait to get out, I hate where I'm living, I hate my life right now, you're probably just needing a little bit of a perception shift. You need to shift your perception within yourself. You need to figure out why you want to go, what you really want to do, what your true calling is, and go from there. So that's basically what I kind of wanted to touch on, because that's kind of in a nutshell, because there's a lot of things that happen mentally that I was not prepared for. I thought I had it all figured out. I thought I knew. And now, looking back at it, I had nothing figured out, and I'm just now starting to figure it out. So don't forget about sacrificing, because that's a really big deal. a lot of us think that, you know, you're just going to go somewhere and, you know, get rich quick and that kind of thing. And maybe that's for you, but in reality, there's so much more we need to work on within ourselves, and sacrificing is a big deal. You sacrifice now to get more of what you want later. So I saw a lot of people in California, you know, buying things that they couldn't, you know, necessarily afford yet, and trying to live up to a status quo. I would rather do things a little differently for myself. I'd rather gather up everything that I can actually afford. I mean, I'd rather gather up everything so that one day I can actually afford those things, and I don't have to, you know, be crunching pennies just to, you know, buy something that makes me look cool, you know. And that's what I saw a lot of. I saw a lot of people just trying to fit in with the people who could actually afford the things that they wanted. And I like having no debt. I like having, you know, that freedom that I like to have, you know, let my shoulders down, let my hair down. I like to live freely. I don't like being bound to anything that, you know, especially money-wise and things like that. I like my financial freedom. So that's why I decided to redirect myself, and I'm going somewhere different now. And I'm really happy with that. I want to talk more about what I experienced while I was going through some sort of a shift in my perception during that time of I was traveling all over. I was in San Diego and LA and in San Diego and Las Vegas and just all over trying to, you know, make all this money real quick, you know, as if and then it just wasn't making any sense. And it took me a moment to grasp the concept of what's right for me. And, you know, what's right for me may not be what's right for everybody else, and, you know, vice versa and everything like that. But that is why I chose to go somewhere different. And I wanted to let everyone know that, you know, if you're sitting there at home and, like I said, you're wishing, you're praying, you're hoping that you can just get out, just take a breather and just kind of observe what's going on around you. Observe your life. Try to change your life from within yourself first before you go searching outside of yourself. Search inside yourself first. So that's what I'm doing, and I'm getting my life together, and I have plans for myself. I can see into the future now, and I'm really, really happy, and I really just wanted to share that with everybody because I really hope, because if I wouldn't have gone early, and if everything that has happened didn't happen exactly the way it happened, I would be putting myself further back in time. I feel like I would be stepping back in time, and that's the last thing I want to do. I want to keep going forward, you know, going forward. And for a long time I was kind of in the same spot, just kind of hovering in this same spot, and I want to go up in life and just continuously getting better and better and better. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions, drop them, and I'll see you guys later.